Now, former Attorney General and Foreign Minister during the Rawlings administration, Dr. Obed Yaw Asamoah, has cast doubt on the possibility of NDC presidential candidate John Dramani Mahama winning the December 7 general elections. Mr. Asamoah believes that given the tendency by Ghanaians to allow governing parties 2 terms each, it would have been better if Mr. Mahama has stepped back to allow someone else to contest the flag bearership slot of the party. He's been explaining this and many more to my colleague Benjamin Akapo.
I told him so. I told Mr. John Mahama, for example, that I thought it would have been better for him to let the NDC elect a different person. You see, because if you have to look at the pattern of voting in Ghana, there is a tendency for the population to give each party at least 2 terms.
Right.
So JJ had 2 terms, Kufuor had 2 terms, Mills and John had 2 terms. So the likelihood, is that President Kufuor will get 2 terms.
Right.
Now, if he's going to get 2 terms, then the next term for NDC would be 2024.
Right.
And if you have a different person now, that person will be marketed enough so that by 2024 he will be a household name.
Right.
Yeah. So that for me would have been the best way to approach it.
So
but
it would have been better for John Dramani Mahama, from where you sit, not to have contended again? From
my point of view, he should not. Because assuming he goes and loses now, what's going to happen? In 2024, when we have a better chance, we are going to now market a new face.
Dr. Obed Asamoah has also been eulogizing former President Jerry John Rawlings. He says the toughness and disciplinarian nature of the late president impacted greatly on the country's economy. According to him, the late president's strictness was very necessary for his governance.
I think that his toughness was necessary, to maintain some discipline in the society. And don't forget, you've got to look at the state of the economy and the state of the politics at the time he came in. At the time he came in, if you remember, there was absolutely nothing in the market. You couldn't buy anything. There was nothing at all. And you remember those were the days when everybody was kind of had his eyes glued on essential commodities. They didn't exist. He's coming in and then having Professor Bochwe as the finance minister, and then having the structural adjustment program. That is what began to set the economy right. Instead of relying as previously on control prices. When you control prices in an economy, everything goes wrong. You've got to allow prices to be controlled by market forces. And I think what we are having now, the system we are having now, was made possible by JJ coming into the picture. And on the political front as well, he also wanted probity and accountability. But apart from that, he wanted some discipline. Initially, his revolution brought about some indiscipline because there were some soldiers that were indisciplined. They thought it was an occasion for them to wield power. And then, of course, the concept of the cadres, which was necessary because that is what really enabled his regime to be stable.